drivers, cheap plastic housing.
The man gazes down at a crate of cartridge discs, eyes narrowed, lips drawn. Veins rise like old roots beneath his thin skin.
Mass-produced excrement. These animals pleasure themselves in it. Collectors, art students, tourists, tote bag owners, the whole dim herd. You see this? Each one guaranteed for 10,000 replays. Obscene.
Elitists like this come in two varieties, audiophile or cultural nostalgic. This man is definitely the latter.
That's right. Most people can't tell the difference between a base pleasure and a higher one. Imaginative faculties dulled by senseless repetition. Forgive me, friend. I'd mistaken you for a common replayer.
This is the highest compliment he's paid to anyone in months, maybe years.
Too much to ask, I expect, that you're a fellow Einzelton aficionado.
Einzeltone, no entries found, and no point trying to pretend.
Yes, it is. Verses that most people get, at least. Go ahead, browse away. My name's Petre. If you need anything, I'll be here, lamenting what's left of the culture. Culture? Portophiran? Scrap. This new Lucian mania is all-consuming. Nobody wants anything that isn't techno-fascist trash, including, apparently, their own souls.
The Luz, once a powerful empire, now reconstituted as a modern techno-fascist state. The rising military and cultural power of the day. Obsession with foreign imports. Sufferers of so-called Lusian mania will consult the wall.
That would be preferable to the truth of things. There is no politics to it that they can see. They just want something they can idiotize themselves with. You'd think we had run out of brick walls. I take it this means Luz hasn't managed to make it into wherever you're from. Good for you. Provincial, but honest. Silk, sad national poetry. Music, the same kinds they play in the so-called developed world, except a couple decades late and desperately effortful.
Incapable of competing with Lusian media on the most basic neurological level.
Yes, exactly. Nice. That's why I'll be here, enjoying the front row seat to the downfall of culture. That is my punishment. Wonderful. We can share snacks. Well, it isn't. Anything we once had has been consumed, overwritten, digested, and shat out by loops. And the worst thing is, we know it. We just don't care. The culture blockade was designed to prevent this, but now anyone with the wits to create anything new just spends their time devising ways to get past the signal blockers and access Lucian drivel. The whole thing's a myth anyway. Failed project. Most of the crates I get from Luz come stamped by the Ministry of Mass Culture. They want it all out there.
This merchandise isn't smuggled at all. They're government sanctioned from the Lusian Cultural Ministry.
Interminable. Every day there's new formats, categories, each one more depraved than the last. Of course, I can't say that out loud. Custom, you know? Well, there was a certain period in the early years of Portofieran independence when everybody on this cursed island was holding their breath waiting for La Luz to invade. But nothing happened. Instead, a few years later, the radio signals began coming in. Pop music, radio operas, later television shows. At least the music would have been better. I can't be sure, but I have reason to believe the media they let reach us isn't even the same one they broadcast to their own people. It's made for us.
Export-only propaganda. Imagine what they reserve for domestic consumption.
When the city caught on, they put up the signal blockers, but it was too late. Hopelessly. Like heroin addicts, but with no chance of rehabilitation. Picture a dog that shits, then eats it, then shits again. That should give you some idea. People are what they consume. I'll say no more.
It's less an opinion, more a criminal sentence.
I thought you might, my friend. Sick fucking world. I haven't met a customer in a very long time who even knows what an Einzelton XR is, let alone appreciates the format. Tells you all you need to know about the current state of the home media world.
Which raises an intimidating question.
Einzelton XR, to give it its proper title. The one true format. The apex of auditory technology. A high-fidelity yet dynamic sonic experience that self-effaces after a single play. A magnet embedded in the disc erases its contents as it's being listened to.
A technological muscle flex. Reproduction and erasure just millimeters away in space. Milliseconds in time. Crucially, such a process would result in an empty disc, like the one you found on Pseudopod's body.
As in life, everything happens only once. Replayability is oblivion. The end. It loses its resale value, and the uninspired replayer who listened to it loses a piece of their soul. Would propping your dead grandmother up and trying to have a conversation with her corpse cause psychic damage? Of course it would. Unless you were a monster. Irreparable.
Mystery solved. Pseudopod listened to a priceless tape and lost his soul.
What do I look like to you? A common replayer?
The way he pronounces that word reminds you of old religious women, spitting out curses before sanctifying themselves.
Good. I own several, if the word ownership applies to such a delicate relationship, but I would sooner molest myself than an Einzeltone XR disc. X remnants. Zero remnants.
Pretty esoteric term we've got here. Just roll with it.
The aftermath of a magnetic charge once you take the field away. The Einzeltone magnets are so potent that the erasure is absolute. The X is meant to represent the negative, the complete absence of sound or vision. This was a very conceptual time for storage media, you understand.
Portofino at the break of the 60s. A teenage boy sits on his bed and gazes at a full-page magazine ad for a brand new single-play format. The crimson of the disc spellbinds him. Excited thumbs leave sweat prints on the page. Below the spotlit red disc in bold-faced text, with Einzeltone XR, the first time is the only time. The boy's lips trace the words in awe.
It was a very beautiful time, too. You can imagine the use cases yourself. Rental markets, promotional copies, that sort of thing. The technical origins are trite. Its deeper purpose is simply to exist, to remain in a rarefied realm of pure potentiality and infinite beauty. Don't forget, we too are single play only, erasing ourselves moment by moment. Correct. It erases acid plays. The inherent idea being, of course, that you never play an Einzeltone and have a more profound experience because of it. Some say that was the intention behind the red color scheme, a warning, so you would never misplay it. I think it was an aesthetic choice, personally.
Did he say red?
With Einzeltone XR, the first time is the only time. An Einzeltone XR. Where did you get this? Oh, not mine. Humanity's. Einzeltone hasn't been available to consumers for a decade. A disc in good condition is worth thousands of salt to people who appreciate its wonders. You played it? Filthy animals. Those. Better they recalled them all years ago. Better a mass manufacturing fault than this. To save them from this humiliation from being passed around like...
The vendor deflates before you.
I'm sorry.
Talking to the Einzeltone, not you.
Ultraviolet is a pop singer. Degenerate, Lucian, Electro-Dross. There's a new fabricated star every day, it seems, but she's the top of today's pile. As for the title, probably the works of a brain-dead marketing committee. Some kind of promo copy, I would assume. Maybe an advanced single of some kind? Of course it's real. You can't bootleg an Einzeltone. Another of its enduring qualities. This ultraviolet has gone missing at the moment. Kidnapped by counter-fascist radicals. Spies, whatever that means. Lucian marketing plot, if you ask me.
Could be the work of the militia Ruben Rouge, extreme communist fringe group. They've ransomed public figures before.
You know terrorists. Media whores all. If it was them, then we'd have heard something, but not a peep.
The vendor looks at the red disc and runs a thumb over its surface.
None of this is the Einzeltone's fault, of course. They can't control what gets seared upon them. Yeah. I assume fondling a human corpse would also make you feel pretty weird.
You did a little of that too, but no need to mention.
What can I say? It's a powerful format, even post-mortem.
Makes sense. Forbidden media, desecration of a tomb, the broken seal.
I'm afraid it's not. No more potential, only anti-potential. Replayability is oblivion. The end. You seem to have misunderstood my soliloquy. It's done. No mercy. The beauty and the tragedy of the format. I hope you dispose of it with dignity. I think a private ceremony would be most appropriate.
Nothing is ever truly gone. Everything leaves a residue. Everything with a charge can be summoned back.
I'm afraid not. The format is near obsolete. Einzeltone is the past, yet it contains the future. How exquisite.
The vendor recoils, as if you just spat at his feet.
So, your question is, Petre, how do I reanimate a corpse? You should speak plainly then. I'll be honest, the thought is so disturbing to me that I've never entertained it before. But theoretically...
Breach warning. You are now hacking the firewall of techno-philosophy.
You would have to repolarize, re-remnants processing, probably a concentrated magnetic flip, neodymium grader. It would involve some custom gear, no doubt, but my answer to your distressing question is yes. I think you could. Recapturing something that's already gone? Hopeless, I think. And grotesque. Don't ask me about this again. I feel unclean.
The vendor's eyes narrow behind his orange lenses.
This is a media store, not the missing persons division. Also one of the GMs with questions like that.
The Guardia Municipal. Street cops.
The so-called dialectical-looking glasses. Air of advanced virginity. I said nothing about conscious. I encounter 2, maybe 3 sentient beings per day. But yes. Yes, he came by here. Little communist lost. Adrift among the many wonders of the free market. A visit might be a stretch. Let's just say the man was definitely mobile. Your dialectical friend mistook himself for some sort of big money businessman. He wanted the bazaar to import superblock hosiery. Socks to start with, but there was talk of cotton tights, even stockings if the venture took off. You're joking, of course. He didn't even know what a velodisc was, let alone an Einzelton. At a certain point, I'm just debasing myself. Of course not. I don't sell socks. So is he all right, your man? Or what? Yes, yes. We are all so well intended.
The vendor gauges you behind his colored lenses, tongue skimming teeth. All across the city of Petra, there is silence. People peer out fearfully from the slivers between curtains.
I'll be blunt. Are you with the Weeping Eye?
The techno-fascist secret police of Lelouch, dark subconscious of the state, specializing in old-school, ugly methods. Your natural enemies, the ones who took you all apart 5 years ago. Hackles rise.
Because they've been especially active here recently. Usually they just let things slide. All the Lucian merchandise, good for everyone. But these days, they're staring right at us, unblinking. If you ever expand to ears, let me know. My point is, your colleague was asking questions. Now, something's obviously happened, and here you are, also asking questions. Given the current climate, no one wants to answer these questions, least of all, me. I'll tell you what I told your sock friend. Speak to the boatman down by the Vest docks. He's the one who knows the underground goings-on around here. We're just the vendors. The cool one.
In his baroque hierarchy of shame, cool falls just under replayer, the cardinal sin.
Excessive sunglasses. Relaxed aura, likely on a boat. No way of confusing him. Wonderful. Now for all our sakes, please say no more. If you want to talk media formats, I'm your man. This other stuff. Shelves are over there. Mostly crass replayable formats, but such is the degenerate society we live in. Missing? Is he? I'm not surprised. That fool and his friend would wander into the jaws of a lion if they were told to. That TV show. Idiot with a bag on his head, your regular stop for hysterical lies, paranoia. Every night, 9 p.m. The old fool was always regurgitating whatever he had heard on there the next day. It's no wonder it eventually led him into trouble. Only doctor I know is Hugo. Has a houseboat not far from here. That's what I'm here for. Yes. It's not like talking about it will make any difference. You'd like to hear more. I judge you to be a woman of culture. You should understand the inherent value of Einzeltone XR. Sure, sure.
low, tilting shelf marked in heavy block letters. Various sections are separated by narrow plastic dividers, each one labelled with the same neat script. A baffling assortment. Hairdresser music. The labelling and sorting is as meticulous as it is uniformly disdainful. More labels. Falsetto-centric. Made for pederasts. Made by pederasts. Pretentious time signatures. Yodeling, ululate. You're not just flipping through records. You're going deeper into Petra's Museum of Loathing. The section weaponized. The care placed into the organization is itself an act of love, performed hatefully. A single label fills up the entire back row. L-pop. You feel the media vendor's eyes on you as you flip through the offerings.
There are vomit bags behind the bin should the urge arise. What galls me is that it doesn't matter how I label any of it. These animals thank me for being thorough, then buy two.
You try, but it's difficult to find something you're interested in while wading through the labyrinth of the salesman's disdain. Whisper funk albums, kazoo devotionals, a breakup/meditation EP, an album cover where the singer hugs themselves in the mirror, track lists with 9-minute-long affirmations, a solo project described as ecstatically celibate. You know there's something worthwhile in there, but it is lost amongst the brambles of trash. Reason will not help you here. Close your eyes and let your hand seek out what it wants. There. The band logo is an illegible scroll, allegedly composed of letters in a human script. On the spine you find the title, Blood Golem. There is no track listing, no credits. Only violence in its purest form. Unjustified, unrighteous, primal. Now, always, is what your hand wanted and found. Violence. But its condition is pristine, as though it were pressed yesterday, for us and us alone. The artist. The album is called I Will Know You by the Sound of Your Structures Crumbling.
Still crass music on a crass replayable format, but at least it's not an active attempt to idiotize the population. I'll give you that.
He nods curtly. You turn your attention away from the shelf.
He's going to melt his head.
On the TV, a giant wolf-like creature stands up on its hind legs and howls. Dangerous, mythical, electrifying. No. Shh. Suddenly, the beast roars and light floods the screen. It's followed by a wet, pulpous sound.
Ecstatic Wolf is awake.
LED lights are distributed evenly along the blade. Durable PVC hilt with textured grip. Impressive armament.
Wolves. It's 66 wolves, and it's our favorite thing in the whole world. It's about a girl who has 66 chambers in her heart, and each one contains a wolf. And the wolves came out to make war with the angels.
Each wolf has a special weapon, and they have super violent special attacks too.
On the screen, a headless lupine figure, standing on its back legs, shakes violently. Blood pours from its neck as flesh reknits itself.
That's Loathing Wolf. Another wolf cut his head off because it's the tournament art. But he didn't know Loathing Wolf can heal fast.
Loathing Wolf's not even strong, but he can be scary.
Yeah.
It's the best show. And it's from La Luz.
The words La Luz make your shoulders close in, as if bracing for a hit.
It's the place where they make all the cool stuff. It's not like here. I bet they even have flying tuk-tuks.
Ridiculous. These wobbling open chassis abominations can barely function on solid ground.
And also we have cousins over there.
Some Portoferans refer to Lusians as strange cousins, a nod to this island's colonial past.
We don't really know them. I talked to one once, on the phone.
I asked Mom if they could come over one day, and she said it's hard because La Luz is so far. With the television, it's just on most times.
Sometimes the image gets fuzzy, or the image is all blue. But it doesn't happen much now. It used to be way worse.
The Lusians must be getting better at bypassing the blockage. The man kills the engine and waits, watching the morning mist part like a curtain. Slowly, the array emerges. 12 slender, glinting giants, shoulder to shoulder, all facing north. He exits the vehicle, thermos in hand. The world smells of brine and diesel. He nods at the green lights blinking in the distance. It's nice, he thinks.
Everyone loves it. Some of the grown-ups like it, even though it's a cartoon.
Notice that the broadcast is in Mercian, not Lusian, dubbed for a foreign audience.
Don't tell that to the music man. He hates it.
Following the kid's line of sight, you land on Petre, who stands at the front of his stall obsessively cleaning a disc.
Yeah, they have songs on them, like the main theme at the start of the show. Or the one from when Nimblewolf burned a whole angel city, even the angel babies.
He says he won't sell the music discs because it would poison our brain with sonic excrements. Well, maybe. But it won't change his mind because he's a loser. I don't know any. Do you know any, maybe?
Wait, I remember those. From when I was little. There was one with puppets arguing a lot, and another with a green cat who was also a thief to help people.
Death to puppets.
But we barely told you anything. We can tell you everything about 66 wolves. So you can just ask, okay?
The children ignore you.
My format-sensitive friend. How goes it? That's what I'm here for? Yes. It's not like... Maybe not.
The gate is bound to the pole by a thin steel chain. Only ghosts can pass freely between such crevices. You push the gate. The metal creaks, but it doesn't move. It's held fast by a rusty chain. The gate creaks in the breeze behind you.
especially good pieces today.
The old woman glances at you before returning to her magazine.
Carmuna's not agreed to be met.
She angles her magazine away from you protectively. Carmuna, the name on Pseudopod's purchase order. Your double owes this woman a minuscule shipment of socks.
Carmuna sees this magazine. You're working with that nice boy? The sock seller?
Her lips shrivel, and her eyebrows descend as she takes you in properly.
He's dressed so nicely, standing so straightly, polite. Had Carmuna thinking that there might be hope for us in Kohila. But you don't look super block at all. That nice boy had never seen an aerotram before. Said they were the most beautiful thing in the world. Then couldn't help himself but say, must be a nightmare for the zoning division. How Carmuna laughed. You mean the Pitol track, perhaps? You can get there by tuk-tuk, easy.
She focuses her attention back towards her magazine.
Carmuna would help, but it's a busy day. Other matters to tend.
She looks sideways at the disc.
It's a disc. Ask the stall owner with the disc, not the stall owner with the clothes. Yes? Quiet, Menina. Does Carmuna blurt your business?
She ruffles the magazine angrily, then looks up at something behind you.
No! Are you crazy? He will see. Now Carmuna said too much. We are dealing with an Ariel creep. He's watching the whole bazaar. Carmuna has a mirror in here to watch him in talk.
The woman angles her magazine towards the unfinished pylon towering at the edge of the market.
Menina, no! Carmuna used to be of a similarly fingered disposition toward him, but can't be too careful now. All sorts of bad types around these days.
Her movements are fitful and tremulous. The arched back suggests a lifetime spent on her feet, contorted over something.
He is creeping, keeping watch on behalf of Polaris knows who, monitoring our ways. He's spying our comings and goings. Carmuna will tell you all about your nice boy if you go find out why. Be careful, Menina. Don't mention Carmuna. Go through that gate just south of here and keep going down. You'll get to him. Locked? Well, go around. Up the stairs, then to your left, and down through the docks. Take a look through the rack over there. No. Bazaar's closing soon, Menina. Don't forget.
You approach Carmuna's rack of clothing. Second-hand olds and newish fakes. Fashion has a short memory. The rack sways with misspelled logos and forgotten styles. Hangers scrape against metal as you thumb through the racks. Foreign material shifts under your fingers. Pull. You turn away. A cosmonaut suit, a relic of Project Altanamia. Its shoulder patch reads, "The stars are ours, 77, 5,000 Sol." No wonder it's still here. If it is, then it's one of the few things for sale here that isn't a knockoff Lusian electronic disc or toy. Your focus widens back. The Guardia Municipal officer is intensely scratching at his neck. As you approach, he wipes his hand on his trouser leg.
Hola, miss. Hope there's a reason you've stopped an officer while he's on duty. No better place for that. Officer Morito, agente coordinador for the Guardia Municipal. Do you need help with anything? Not this again. Did Aunt Carmuna put you up to this? My mother's sister, but she thinks that makes her my boss too. Even calls me Little Morito. Of course she did. Look, my aunt's a nice woman, but she always does this. It's fine if you want to help, but don't let her drag you into her little neuroses. My hands are tied, legally. Pylons are out of my jurisdiction. The Guardia Municipals. Just, you know, not me. Aerotram companies have their own branch of the Guardia. Anything higher than 6 meters up in this city is their purview. Good question. Really good question. She's been a warrior for as long as I've known her. Always some catastrophe or other looming. But it's not just that. Carmuna and most of the older folks, they can't accept that things overall are all right. Some people struggle with that. Look around. What do you make of the bazaar? The future. See? That's what my aunt doesn't get. Auntie Carmuna was a silk worker, you know? The bootlegs. All this Lusian stuff. It's not what she knew. It's wrong, apparently. Maybe if we all agree it's shit enough, we can tear it down. Bring back the artisans and factories and schnapps stands. No, I don't blame her. I just wish she'd be a bit more realistic. Don't get me wrong. This isn't the bazaar that Morito wants either. But it's better than a graveyard. The kid's still showing that photograph to anyone walking by, is she? She tell you about the whole payphone thing too? The one her dad was obsessed with. Try being all out. It's just a bunch of nonsense. Maurito really feels for the kid, you know? Fucking Eno. Filling her head with his shit. Can't. Payphones belong to Renotel. It's private business. The Guardia Municipal doesn't have jurisdiction to look into that. The Fiscalia. One could put a request through them, but that's a lot of paperwork. Better to stick to the law. The law's not perfect, but it's there.
Hard to argue with a non-existent point.
Not well, but I've known her a long time. Eno used to bring her here as a toddler. Yeah, Eno's gone. Him and his other fuck-up buddy Gilmar. Figure these two just ran off, leaving the kid to deal with their mess. Not at the same time. That'd be too obvious.
That's a lot of skepticism around reported and disappeared.
Way I see it, they started planting the phone story weeks ahead of time as a cover. Got two theories. Debts is the obvious one, of course. It'd make sense. 80% of all disappearances are debt-related. The other 20's mostly divorces. Especially when a boat's involved. It's statistics. I can't argue with those. Now, if it's not debts, then we're clearly looking at something more salacious. Two men, yeah? Old friends, close friends, detecting together. Whoa there. No need to get explicit. I don't need the image in my head. Sure. Don't need to dwell on this sad mess. How bad does it look?
Scaly reliefs and cracked plates, like some diseased armor.
Shit, I knew it. I hope it's not the topical ball repellent I've been using. Instructions said to apply generously. Guess that's what I get for trying to keep the peace with these boars running around. You're lucky then. We've been dealing with an infestation for weeks. Back ways are full of them. It used to be a seasonal problem. Every autumn, some adults would come down bold and hungry. But lately, it's more of a permanent residency. At best, they're a nuisance. The little ones are fine, but the adults could take off a kneecap if you're not careful. And then there's the really big one, the mother. They don't seem so bad if they're alone, but they're never alone. Get 5 or 6 together and they can take down a grown man. Oh, 100, 150 kilos? Easy. Enough to stop a tuk-tuk going full speed. Massive. Furs all matted, covered in scars, territorial too. Preys on drunks, stumbling back from Party Alley. Tusks, claws, knives, bullets. Take your pick. Every few years some brave moron tries to take her down, but she stands undefeated. You got a weird glint in your eyes. Let's not do anything stupid, all right? You back away, slowly. If you get a whiff of it charging, find something to climb if you can. And then, come find me.
As you step away, the GM... Refreshments are lined up like... The refreshments remain... The man doesn't react or turn as you approach, your feet echoing off the high metal. Don't look now, but you can see through the metal floor, all the way down.
You've come a long way.
Unfortunately, view just about compensates. I'm being punished. My employer has placed me in an impossible position. I'm a safety inspector, watching the lines. As you might have noticed, this pylon is under construction, technically. It's my role to ensure the lines and pylons are all built according to code. And this line, Line 9, will never be finished.
Line 9. The same line the man by the aerotram station was told to wait for.
Then they would be waiting a very long time.
A cruel joke, most likely.
Where to start? This pylon's angle deviated more than expected as the concrete set. Hazardous near water. Shouldn't have skimped on materials. Then there are the clearance issues. The party alley rooftops are higher than the building department's official records.
These aerotrams would shear those right off.
Since the last round of enter stabilization, they've been trying to force us lifers out. We can be fired, not easily, but they can take away the work that made us stay in the first place. I have two options. I could falsify my reports and declare Line 9 safe for construction anyway, or I could quit. Either way, the company can't lose. I wasn't always. I thought about throwing myself off this pylon, right where you're standing. I used to fantasize about the GMs dragging my waterlogged corpse from the canal. Fortunately, this spot lends itself to reflection. Contemplating my punishment helped me see how to live with it. I'm a structural engineer. I believe in stability. What Emperor has brought isn't that. Their version of stabilization shifts the responsibility of managing entropy from the state to the individual. Human existence always carries entropy with it. That's inherent in the system. Social insurance, pensions, fair wages, these are measures against the entropy of living. They're also expensive.
He glances down. The world spins slowly.
There's entropy in all systems. No living thing can avoid it entirely.
Some questions don't require thought, but the opposite. Quiet the conscious mind, and the answer comes naturally.
Fantastic. What is it?
You opened your inner eye and found the universe staring right back at you. What horrors will it visit upon you? Now it knows that you see its strings. The pylon man turns his head ever so slightly.
You hold yourself back because you fear retribution or your own incompetence. Either way, interesting. I believe your question requires more time and experience than you've committed to it thus far. Not a criticism, simply an observation. The crippled seamstress, you mean? I guess that follows naturally from the premise.
He's not bothered by you bringing this up.
Still, I hope you don't take that claim seriously. I'd appreciate it if you'd set the woman's mind at ease. As I said, I'm only here because of my work. Many things, but everyone has their own definition of interesting. A friend of yours? Oh, all right. I couldn't say. I'm above the bizarre, not of it. I just see the people come and go. The natural tides of commerce, boatmen unloading goods, porters delivering pallets, customers browsing. Lots of pleasing symmetries if... I'm sorry to do this. Before I say more, there's just one thing.
You see that fire exit over there?
Some scuffler has wedged it open with a pelota ball. That's correct. The short-sightedness. The fire exit is clearly marked. Do people really think building codes are optional?
This man's punishment may be of his own making.
Thank you. Perhaps.
The gate stands before you. The gate creaks. The man gives no indication of registering your presence. Must be cataract glasses. He's visually impaired. Maybe mentally impaired also.
Deep question. I'll have to get back to you on that. Also, this is a canal, not sea. Help you with something? A collie. Go on. There's a lot of coming and going in the bazaar.
A decent performance, but you have notes.
Did he? Ah, right. The twitchy communist. No, I haven't. Yeah, your colleague was here.
An old, low-slung workhorse with tar patches, welded plates, and mismatched boards.
Papers say so.
He's got a few more years left in him. Old man. And I'm not complaining. Old.
You know where this is going, right? You're not going to just walk into it.
Awful judgmental of you.
He stares at you.
Man. I enjoy that. Anyway. Depends. Some are produced locally. Textile's the easiest to replicate. Got some artisans in Hill of Pigs. Other things, like toys, need to be brought from abroad. There are small manufacturers scattered along the Nosferentus coast. Families with dresses, off-book factories. Other crates have to cross a few borders. Because the Lusians don't mind a little cultural leakage these days. Government thing. Shadow program. I don't ask too much about it. Merchandise gets shifted and no one selling it gets disappeared to lose. Pantomime. Look around. Loses cutting edge. So long as they get a cut. Foreign regulations have made that part trickier.
Treaties, obligations to foreign banks and bureaucracies, third-party audits, all part of joining the developed world. A big gang where no one's your friends, and there's always more palms to grease.
At the hands of some enterprising people. A few tarps in the dust. I'm sure there's more important things for us to discuss. Sure. Socks. Mostly. Not really my province.
Now, stop circling each other. Commit.
And he must have been a spy with the Operant Bureau.
A still moment. From a nearby rooftop, the sound of children playing.
Anyway, your colleague seemed upstanding, respectful, but I couldn't help him.
End of the line. The pseudopod terminus. He bounced off this man and landed somewhere in oblivion.
No. What's on it? The Lusian pop thing. Seen the ads around. I'm on alert. But you can assume half of those are filled with our music. Colored disc in these high-tech formats. Not really my province either. Very much so. Probably do with it. But he did all right.
A polite round of applause for the support act.
So it's partner now. He wanted the same thing as you do, I assume. A meet with the boss man. Tempo del Sur.
Your cerebrospinal fluid turns to liquid refrigerant. Tempo del Sur, mid-tier deity in the local underworld. And once your asset, cryptonym Taxman. Also someone you once called a friend.
By name. Your colleague was very keen to speak to the boss. I had to turn him away.
Because Pseudopod didn't possess your killer mindset, Operan.
That's good to know. I'm also a bad bitch. Among many upturned tits.
Your mindset has gotten you nowhere, but at least game has perceived game. Unless he's in on this too.
He came back. Had to turn him away 4 times.
After that, I lost track of him. He didn't exactly walk off with purpose.
As the sun smears across rooftops, a man with a briefcase full of carefully folded socks sits on a metal bench. He sits there for a long time.
No, he didn't actively threaten me. Nor did I find him threatening. Bossman is the bazaar. He's everywhere you look.
The smuggler offers a loose shrug and a head tilt. He flips down his glasses a moment with a single finger. Then his eyes are green and very dry. He lowers his head in brief salute. The smuggler inclines his head and he lowers his head.